Welcome to my channel. My name is Faith, and we are going to be starting from the basics today, which is the body measurements. As you can see, I'm going to be using my mannequin here as an illustration of how to take a body measurements. Now, taking body measurements depends on what you're working on. But for today, in this class, we're going to be taking just normal measurements, body that you can use for maybe bustier, baby gown, free gowns, kimono, depending. So this here is a sample of what the human body looks like for a woman. Now here is the shoulder. Around here is the bust circumference. Then around here is the waist circumference, the under bust circumference. So when the measurement goes round, is usually the circumference part of your measurement. Then this one is the vertical measurement. Yes, another name you call for this circumference measurements are the horizontal measurements. This one takes care of the roundness of the body, while this one is the vertical measurements. This way, this one talks about the lengthwise measurements of the body. So basically, we are going to start with the back measurement. The back measurement is from one end of your shoulder bone to the other end is your back measurement. Usually it's called the back width. Some call it shoulder, it depends on what you call it. So first of all, let's take care of the vertical measurements. Now for the vertical measurements, anytime you want to take your vertical measurements, your tape starts at the apex of your neck. You do not start your measurements from the shoulder because the shoulder is dropped. So for whatever neckline you're working with, always start your measurement from the apex of your neck area. So from here to the fullest part of the bust is your shoulder to the nipple measurements. And then when you take it underneath the breast is shoulder to the under bust measurement. Usually you get this measurement with when your clients wear the wire of your client's bra. That's how you comfortably get your shoulder to under bust measurement. Then you can also get your shoulder to waist, then shoulder to hip, shoulder to knee, and length of your dress. If it is a blouse, you stop your blouse length anywhere you feel like, anywhere that is okay with your clients. So for this mannequin, the shoulder to the nipple is 10, while the shoulder to the under bust is 13.5. Then your half length could be 18, and then you now go down to measure your shoulder to the hip, your shoulder to the full length of your dress. Now, when you are measuring for a bustier, you will notice that the shoulder to the waist for the front is usually different from that of the back. So when you're making a fitted garment, especially a bustier, a corset, it is important to note the difference between the back measurement and that of the shoulder to the front, waist on the front. So usually the easy way you get this is to tie maybe a rope or another tape on your client's waist, actual waist. That's the tiniest part of your client's waist. Another way you can do this is to tell your client to maybe bend or tilt to a side, and that place that goes in becomes the natural waistline of your client. So all you have to do is tie a rope or get another tape and then note it. So when you do that, it's easy. It becomes rounded. So as you can see, it's rounded now around the waist. So all you have to do is to go ahead, note your shoulder to the bust, shoulder to the nipple, then shoulder to the under bust, and shoulder to the waist. Now for this mannequin is 18. Shoulder to the natural waistline of the mannequin is 18. Then that of the back, you can keep it at the natural dark bone behind your back, at the back of your neck, or you can as well still continue with the apex of your shoulder. And you notice that for this is different. Now for the back, we are having 14 and a half as the natural waistline. So this will help you when you are drafting a bustier naturally to sit properly well, because the bulginess of the breast has added to the front measurement. So also take note that whenever you are taking your body measurements, you always keep your tape to run across the tilting of the breast. You don't do it this way or that way, no. You make it to run through the natural course of the body contours. And then you take your measurement. This is shoulder, maybe full length of a short dress. This is around the knee, then 3/4, and then the full length of your dress. Then also, let's go over to the horizontal measurements. Now, when you want to take your bust measurement, it's important you take your measurement at the fullest part of the bust. At the fullest part of your bust, you get your bust measurement. And for my mannequin is 34. That's the measurement of the fullest part. Then you also go ahead and take the measurement for the under bust. Just right under your bust, as the name implies. Take your time, make sure everything is aligned, and you take your measurement. Then this is your waist circumference. That's your natural waistline. You take your waist measurement, and for this mannequin is 25. At the natural, 24 3/4, 24.75. That is the natural waist of this mannequin. Then assuming you are measuring also for skirt, all you have to do is tell your clients to tell you where they like their skirts to start from, and then you note it around here. It's usually referred as the skirt waist. Usually they differ sometimes with the natural waistline. Then you go ahead and measure for your hip circumference. Always note that when measuring for the hip circumference, you see, it runs around the fullest part of your hip. And to know that you've gotten your measurements, you always tilt it up and down. When it passes through the hip, then it comes back up, make sure it's free enough to pass up and down the hip area. That's how to take your hip measurement. Then ordinarily when you are making maybe skirts, pencil skirts, all you have to do is to get the lower parts of the measurements of your lower part. All you have to do is whatever you have on your hip, you just remove one. Whatever you have on your hip, you divide it by 4/4 of your hip measurement. You remove 1 to 2 inches depending on how full the hip, the lap, and that downwards, how you want it to be. Usually averagely is to remove 1 to 1.5 inches. Then also you want to take your skirt length measurement. You start from where your client showed you that the skirts, they like their skirt to start, and if it is a short skirt, you take it this way. If it is a long skirt, you take it all the way to where their desired length is. Then another thing we should note also is the nipple to nipple, bust span. That's what it's called. It's usually the distance from one of your nipple to the other. It's needed when you are doing a bustier, whatever type of cut, princess cut, shoulder cut, whatever that you are making. You would want to note your bust span, commonly called the nipple to nipple. For my mannequin is 6.5. It differs depending on your client's bust size. So then to measure your arm, unfortunately my mannequin is an armless mannequin, but all the same, to measure your arm, from where the bone of your shoulder stops, you measure your desired length of your arm. So for your clients, if you are making a fitted dress, it's advisable to ask your client to hold their arms at their waist. That way you get their natural length when they tilt their hands. So whether you do this way or you do it the other way, it all depends on what you want to achieve. So with that, I think we have covered for this class. Then to measure for a dormant sleeve, usually what we use for boo-boos, for kimonos, just like what I'm putting on is a kimono sleeve dress. So all you have to do is to keep your tape at the back of your neck, this bone at the back of your neck. You take it all the way to where your client desires for their sleeve to stop. As you can see, let me turn my back, from here to all the way where you want your sleeve to stop. That's how you get your sleeve length for maybe boo-boos, kimonos, and dormant sleeve dresses. So with that, we have come to the end of this class. And if you're comfortable here, please do like, share, subscribe, and drop a comment however you want us to improve. And subsequently, we'll start our sewing. Thank you for joining us.